Over Proverbs chapter 3, verses 25 and 26. And Solomon tells us to have no fear of sudden disaster. And then he tells us, or the ruin that will overtake the wicked. And he says, for the Lord will be at your side and will keep your foot from being snared. He doesn't say, I want to point out what he doesn't say first, because then I think you get the real meaning of this verse and we make some application. What he's not saying is disaster and trouble is not going to come your way. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying if you're plugged into Christ, then you're not going to suffer at all. Not what he's saying. Because sometimes the trouble is going to come our way, disaster is going to come our way, and we think, I wasn't plugged in enough. Job tells us a man is born of a woman a few days and full of trouble. We're going to have trouble. So what is he saying here? He's saying if you're plugged into Christ, remember that seeking wisdom thing that we've talked about so much? Well, if you're doing that, then when the trouble does come, you know, the Lord is at your side and protecting you and keeping you and guiding you. God protects us from making decisions when we're in the midst of trouble that are going to affect us adversely. In other words, it keeps the trouble from getting worse. And second, he guides us to the right path. Protects us and guides us. That's what we get when we're plugged in, when we're seeking wisdom. That wisdom then helps us when the trouble comes, we make the right choices. Now, what he's saying is, don't be afraid of the fear of the sudden disaster. Don't be afraid of the trouble that's coming. Don't spend your time worrying about it, because you know what? When the trouble does come, the plan of God is still the same in your life. You know, if something happens to me that we get in a car wreck on the way to work, God still wants me to teach people the Bible. That's kind of the call of my life. I've realized that. I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing right now. So if I get fired from my job, you know what? God still wants me to be teaching the Bible. You the same way. No matter what trouble comes in your life today or comes in the future, God's plan is still the same. Let him guide you, keep you on the path, and protect you from making the trouble worse. Want to read the whole devotional? Go to the link at the bottom of the page. We'll see you tomorrow.